yes, but again, yes, you see, I gotta come in, but so remember when I told you when we first discussed, I don't know what the topic is gonna be because somebody always comes with shenanigans immediately, and I have to touch on that because that's Safari, and that's not what we're talking about. Before we get into that, go ahead and introduce yourself because I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna tell the people. Hold on, let me sip. I'm gonna tell the people when I saw Unc, I was like, oh, Unc, that's cute. Little 55, 60-year-old Unc about to come up in here with some gray hair. And so I was like, come on in here, Unc. I mean, but you was like, no, that's not what it stands for. And I was like, oh, you still Unc, though. You still Unc. All right. So go ahead and introduce yourself while
I appreciate that. I'm Unc. My name is Tomas. Unc is a community and a podcast that I created. Unc stands for Universal Network of Consciousness. So it relates to our spiritual sense, it relates to our physical sense, and it relates to our emotional sense, where to me are the three main areas of us and our being that we need to keep in alignment, to be healthy, to be balanced, so we can have fulfilling lives. I come from a broken background environment, Kenya, so I've made a lot of, I would say, broken choices, not understanding things past and the route that I should have gone in life. And due to that, I didn't have a bad life, but I created additional brokenness from what I came from. That's a broken family environment. I was raised by my grandparents, and basically what the Unc community is giving back. I realize I've made amends for things that I think that mistakes I've made in the past. I've been married, divorced, I've got kids, I've just different things. I didn't do everything right, but I've always been a good guy. I was always, responsible when it came to finances and career and stuff like that. And so I've done some good things. And now I've kind of turned my life to where I've been, coaching and kind of giving back. And so the platform is really, the material is trying to reach out and resonate with people who are looking for what type of life that they want. What type of life are you headed towards? What have you had fulfillment? Most people have had some type of broken background, or they got some trauma, something they need to heal from. And those are all obstacles and hindrances that are preventing them from having a fulfilling life that they want. And especially when it's talking about having a fulfilling relationship with another person in life. I mean, I see nowadays we're getting further and further away from that as society has grown and times and traditions have changed.
Yes. And that is why we are here. Okay, Unc, because I am a relationship coach that don't play. Again, hey, if you are new to Tips Tea Thursday, type in the chat #tips. Why? What? Because I want y'all to write down these tips that me and Unc is throwing out here, all right? But again, if you my OG, you already know what to do. Type in #tips. Because we are getting into it. Again, a relationship coach that don't play. I help individuals unlearn, relearn relationship skills through healing, self-reflection, and self-discovery. Because again, you don't know. And like you mentioned, you grow up in environments, certain environments, different environments. And I wanted to say something, touch on that too. People always stick when they say, I grew up in this environment. People don't understand that environments change throughout the years. And so they always want to stick to one household. I grew up in this environment. No. Because in one house for 10 years, it's going to be different in that same house for the next 5 years and the next 10 years. So just because you grew up in one household does not mean that household was your environment the entire time. And so for me, I grew up in a loving 2-parent home, right? And everyone believes that that's the cheat code. I say it all the time. Yes, great life. Oh my goodness. Life was where it was at. I ain't saying that we was up there, but it was great, right? But I didn't always meet people that had a great life or grew up in a loving 2-parent home or anything like that. So therefore me, walking around there, that was not something that I could sit up there and throw in people's faces because they Yeah, that's cool. But this how I grew up though.
Yeah, yeah.
Going through though. You know what I'm saying? So I absolutely love that right there. So how did you get started in this?
I mean, I'll say this. I mean, I am unc too. I'm an uncle. That's probably kind of where it started. When I was 18 years old, this started as far as like coaching and doing. I've been friends to. I got so many friends throughout my life. I've been a person that's
Mhm,
always been personable. So I've networked throughout my career and as I've grown. So I've always kept and maintained relationships. It's one thing that I was actually really good at. With stuff like that. But when I was 18, shortly after I turned 18, my sister's husband passed away
mhm,
and lost him. So I got two nephews that were extremely young, and from that point in time, my life kind of a little bit, changed. I was there, stayed with her for a period of time. I was kind of helping with my nephews. They were 4 and 1 at the time. So, that's kind of where I would say it started. I didn't realize, where my life was going to go at that point.
mhm,
But later in life, I just realized all the different mistakes, Kenny, that I had
mhm,
made. I'd affected, to me, I felt too many lives. And too many was, my kids. I have two biological kids. Um,
mhm,
from when I got my first marriage, and I got married the
mhm.
first time. I had my daughter when I was 19. I was married at 20, and I had a son at 21. So I was a young father, and I was out in the world trying to make it, but with no foundation or really understanding how to do that. So the creative brokenness. I've had been with other
Mm,
women in my life. I've had different things. I've been in relationships. I haven't always been right. It doesn't mean that I was wrong or a bad dude, but it was things that
right.
just didn't go right. So I look at life and I realize that my life, even though it always had a trajectory that was still kind of going up, my career,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was cool, but you still got other areas
Mhm,
that weren't set. And I realized that you attract what you are. I kept
mhm,
having similar situations, even though they were different people. That
mm,
means that's only one thing. That's me. I mean, I had to look at myself
mm,
afterwards and say, wait, 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 wait. The things that I've gotten back from people, the things I've complained about, did I ever give them what I got? Did I ever, at any point in
mhm,
time, whether they know or not, did I ever give them the energy that I feel? And when I went through and thought about
mhm,
all of it, the biggest word that I give to any person that I coach, talk about is accountability. I had to realize, damn, that was me.
mm,
This is not, I can't really sit and blame these people. I'm a man too. I've got, it wasn't like every woman was bad. I'm supposed to be a leader. I'm
mm.
supposed to understand the direction I'm supposed to take and lead, the person that's in my life. So if we're having conflict and
Right.
things, I don't really know what I'm doing. And so I had to look back and say it was me. And once I did that, it was just all about healing. It was about understanding where I was broken. It was understanding, taking the steps to make sure that I didn't feel vulnerable, that I didn't feel ashamed, that I didn't feel any level of guilt, that I didn't understand who I was. To give you just a
Mhm.
little bit further background without going too deep, I
Yes.
was raised by my
Go ahead.
grandparents. Raised by my
Mhm,
grandparents since the day I was born. So 3 days old out the
mm,
hospital, I was raised by my grandparents.
mhm.
My biological mother and father, I knew who my biological mother was, but never raised me.
Okay. Mm,
Unfortunately, at the time, I didn't know until later in life, but she was in prison. So the reality is she
mm.
couldn't. I didn't find out my
She
biological
had
father.
she
She
had
was
you
in
in
prison.
prison?
She
Okay.
well, she
Okay.
they took her to. She went to hospital. I mean, they're out of there, but yeah, she still had
Right,
the. I
right,
was in
right.
the hospital, left from the hospital. She'd go back to being in the correctional facility, right? I didn't find that out
Okay.
until I was in my 30s. Till I was in my 30s, she wasn't a part of my life like that.
Okay.
Again, I was raised by her father and his second wife, who was no
Okay.
blood to me.
Okay.
So the woman I looked at as mom wasn't any blood to me. But I didn't know my biological father until I didn't even know who it was until 3 years ago. Um, and I'm coming up on I'm getting closer to 50, so I'm not 55, 60 with the grays
Okay.
yet, but I'm getting there. I turned 47 this year.
Okay. The
So
kids will be like 40.
so I didn't I mean my mom was my biological mom was brown skinned black woman. There was so I came out light. I was the third of three. We all had different fathers. I
Mhm.
didn't know mine and I was light. So I knew I was, I didn't know what I was. I had the name Tomas, so I thought maybe I was Hispanic. But come to find out, I bring this up because I think I was already long in process before this, but this is when it just really changed for me. I found out in early 2017 from an ancestry kit that I found out what my biology was. I mean, I'm black. I didn't know what else. But come to find out, I was Italian. My father was actually Italian, so it threw me completely off. I was like, "What? I'm Italian and black. I thought I was Hispanic and black." And it changed because at that point in time, God works in great ways, and and He works on His time. It was time for me all the pieces basically got picked up. I through that, other people in my family, from my biological father's side that I had no idea about, took the test.
Okay.
And they ended up matching up with me. I ended up finding out I got biological sisters, and I ended up finding out my biological father, which he knew none of us. So that's not what he was trying to do. But I have a relationship with him now, know who he is. So I would say those were the things that kind of brought it all together. And once it all got together, I realized how whole I felt because I knew who I was, and I wanted to make sure that others felt the same.
Okay. I love it here because I just go completely off my notes because this is good. So I am a part of a panel called PTHD, which is post-traumatic hood disorder. And we go on a panel every once a month. And it's great that you said that because on the last panel, a lot of guys need to heal from their not knowing their fathers, or not even not knowing their fathers, but knowing their fathers and then their fathers leaving, the absentee, not knowing what really happened to their mothers, between them and their mothers, and just not knowing, right? And so it was one particular guy who was there telling his story about how now his father is on his deathbed. And, he feels like it just being there in that space with us discussing it, he needs to talk to him because his father wants to reach out. He needs to talk to him. But him growing up, like, I don't care about that dude. Like, that dude ain't got nothing to say to me. I ain't got to care about that dude. And this morning, I came up with a thought that we really need to, and I do a segment called Things That We Need to Stop Saying, but I had something else, but we switching it back. Closure. People don't need closure because that's not true. And I always give the people stuff that they need to stop saying, and you need to stop saying that you don't need closure. Now, what I do believe, and this is a Kenya's keepsake, write this down, is that you don't chase the closure. Right. And so when we're talking about relationships and we're talking about you don't need closure, that's because 9 times out of 10, we're still hounding that person. We're stalking that person. Like, what happened? Why wasn't me? Why is it her? Who, him? Like, that is chasing the closure. But everyone does need some type of closure for something, and also I believe that people self-inflict when they don't have that closure. So I say that to say, for an example, for my fellas, they hold all this in against their dad, the resentment, they talk about him, then they get children, then they have children, and either they go the way their dad did or they go the opposite way. But there's still some type of emotions or feelings over not having that closure with their father that they hold. So I've seen it on 2 different ends. I've seen it to where they hold so many things against their father that they don't take care of their children, or they're not as present with their children, right? Then I've seen it on the other end where they're too, and they're overcompensating because they don't want to be like their father. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, what would you tell? And look, I'm the type of person, look, I know what I know, a woman, and I that's why I talk to my fellas. What would to the men out there that are holding on to the grudges, the resentment against their father that is hindering their relationships today? And I'm not just talking about women because that's a big thing, but I'm talking about with with their community. Talk to them while I sip.
Yeah. So I mean, one is this. So every person needs to be appreciative of what they have. This is one thing I met my biological father. We talked.
Oh,
We connect now. I mean, I'm alive. I mean, without my mother, my biological mother and father, I'm not here. They never once took care of me. That's not what they did. But I'm here, and I
mm,
feel blessed, and I'm on this. So I thanked my
mm,
father the very first time I talked to him. But the thing is I never really got a chance. My biological mom has passed away. I never was upset. I was
mm,
never, no, 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 it's okay. I was never upset. I was not, about not being raised by or anything like that. We had a meeting when I was in my 30s. We kind of met up, had lunch and stuff like that. And she was like, hey, you probably need to forgive. And it came out of nowhere. And I was like, I'm not upset. I think you have that on your heart. And I want you to understand that you shouldn't, because you gave me life. And I think that men need to understand that you have life and you have an opportunity. So that's one. Two, I got to talk to my father. My father told me he didn't know anything about me. He had no idea. He don't remember my
mm,
mom. I mean, he was out
mm,
there living life, right? I mean, I was born
mm,
in '77, so it's the '70s. People
mm,
doing whatever. I mean,
right.
that's how it was. And he didn't want to ever be a father. And he told me, he gave me
Mm,
the situation from his mom and dad. They were good, loving family together. It was him and a brother. Dad straight from Italy, but he was in the war. He had what they would
mm,
call shell shock or PTSD. So I think the way
mm,
that he kind of grew up, I don't think it lent, not that it was bad. He said, I'm not a victim. My mom loved me, was tight with her, but dad was probably like, if we would have he would have sent us to military school, and then we came home and we was adults and went by the rules, it probably would have been fine. That's not what he gave them.
mm,
So with that, I had to understand my father's past. I had to understand what he went through.
mm,
And whatever took place, because without understanding his story, I'm going by what
mm.
I'm feeling is a burden on me. And men need to
Yes.
understand. Don't blame him. You need to understand what it is. We all have dealt with things in life. Again, I had two kids when I was young, and I've always have been in their life. It's in biological. I had a blended family, so I've got more than that. But I had to have a conversation with my kids. They've always been there. I was in their life. We went 50-50 custody. Then my son was with me more. I mean, there was no lack of being there, but guess what? There still was a lack of guidance and teaching because it wasn't there all the time. It wasn't me and their mom with the same vision of making sure they were in the same household to have the same goals. So there was things that lacked. I still had times when I was focused on me, and doing things as opposed to just them. So later in life, I had to have a conversation directly with them, talking
Mm,
about, well, this is where I came in. This is what I went through. These are the things that I did. And I didn't realize those are the things that you dealt with. And we got a great relationship. They're not upset at me, but they still needed to
mm,
understand this was my life that I went through. And I think it's very, very important for all men to understand that. All men and women, anybody who doesn't have a relationship with either one of their parents, you need to if they're alive and you have the opportunity, I would tell you right now, take the opportunity and whatever chance you can to get their story. Their story can give
yeah.
you a lot of insight on why you're here. You
Mm-hmm.
don't even, or why they weren't around. It could be things that you may never agree with, but you may need to know. That's the closure. You may not be happy with it, but closure is understanding.
Come on now. Hold on. I gotta write that. Closure is understanding. Look,
Closure is understanding.
I am with you on that one because dare I say, and hold on, because I don't want nobody coming for me right now, because Kenya's gonna tell you what she gonna tell you. All right. Now,
Yep.
like I always, if I say something that's gonna ruffle some feathers or that's gonna stir somebody's tea, you always say there's this percentage over here that we talking about, and there's this percentage over here that we talking about. All right.
Correct.
But dare I say, some of y'all mamas is trash. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. So get y'all daddy's
Oh, man.
story. All right, some of y'all mamas was trash back then, and I'm gonna say it like this, and back me up because I'm a woman. I'm gonna say it
Oh,
like this: men, sometimes they just don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with whatever you got going on. And unfortunately, sometimes that does mean stepping back from the children or your mama not telling you the whole story. So understand it. Stop being mad at your daddies. Stop being thinking that your mom don't hey y'all don't blackball me on my tipsy Thursday. Okay, okay, don't
uh,
but I'm Hey, it's this percentage over here.
Nah,
Percentage over here. But go ahead, tell them, tell
look,
them.
nah, you already. So I'm gonna tell you right up. Yeah, I agree with you on that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And there's a bunch of women today that still, aren't doing, right when it comes to their kids, and that. I mean, there's nothing really. I can't really add to that other than it is that. When I talk to women all the time, I let them know, look, don't. I don't think anyone should throw their kid's father under the bus. Kids are gonna have their experience, and everything that you say, they're gonna hold on to. Everything that you tell them, they're gonna hold on to. They're gonna live it. It's gonna become their reality. They're gonna believe it. They're gonna learn it. That's what it's gonna be. And then later, there's gonna come a time later when clarity happens. That kid is not gonna look back at you and think, oh man, I'm glad you actually told me all that nonsense that I actually has been validated to be different from other people. Why did you do that? Why did you say that? How come it was like that?
Yeah.
Why did you make it seem like, it was that? And I can definitely tell you that I've seen that on more than one occasion, and it hurts the kids. The kids start losing trust in the parent, and then they won't come to you.
It's the betrayal.
It's betrayal.
It's betrayal. And let me tell you something. For all you, oh my God, we can do this all night. For all you boys out there, for all you mama's boys out there, and for all you mothers that, and I talked about this before and I say it again, that your sons are your kings and your sunshines and you do all of that. But you guys become your son's first heartbreak with your shenanigans. Okay? Don't get on you, girl. Don't get on you, girl. I'm just saying it. Look, these are coming from my clients. These are coming from my experience. These are why I create these spaces, because these are the things I'm not assuming this stuff, y'all. Okay, these are the things that I'm getting. You guys become your son's first heartbreaks with your shenanigans. All right. So I believe what me and Unc is saying is be you, be your authentic self. But not only that, walk the authentic walk so that you can be your authentic self to your children. All right, Unc, so my story all the time. I have a 21-year-old daughter. That's my girl. And I would say her dad chose not to be around after I broke off our engagement. And I fight to this day, and you'll see me talk about it all the time on how I will refuse to call my daughter's home a broken home just because it was just me and her. You know what I'm saying? Because my daughter's home, that's a negative connotation. My daughter's thriving. She got a lot going on. Now, again, I'm not saying she did not need a father. That is not what your girl is saying. But what I am saying is that I created spaces so that my daughter can have men in her life. But let me not even say that. I didn't even have to create the space. I'm a daddy's girl. I have a brother. I have uncles, cousins, all of that amazing stuff. So there were men in her life for someone to not say, oh, she needed her father. She needed a father figure. Okay? It's what she has. And so with that said, like you said, it's about self-awareness and it's about understanding, right? Understanding. And with that, you mentioned accountability, which is a thing that we speak about all the time. Again, what I say about accountability, what you think about this is, yes, we all need to take accountability for ourselves and our actions, but also everybody think they around here doing their thing. So you can only take accountability for what you know. You don't know what you don't know, right? And so for you, because I heard your story, what was that incident? What was that situation where you was like, look, accountability needs to happen right now? Because people aren't having those situations. People aren't sitting up here like, I need to take accountability for that.
I mean, so I look at my life. I mean, again, I've been married, so I've been married and divorced 3 times.
3 times. You said 3 times.
So married, divorced 3 times, and I'm married, and I'm married now for the 4th time. but I'm married on a completely different level. We've been together for 6+ years now. But I had to learn. Accountability was I kept failing. Like I want you to understand, like whatever was inside me, I always wanted to have a family, and it's been in me.
Yeah.
My grandparents who raised me, I called them mom and dad, but they were 40
Mm-hmm.
and 50 when I was born. So by the time
Mm.
that I was a teenager, he was retired. He was in his 60s. It was nothing. I mean, he wasn't. He had a home and protection, but it wasn't like he was guiding me from, hey, this is what you need to take and do as a man. I mean, he was so much older. That's not what I had. I became Unc because my sister's husband, who was like that for me, passed away. And then I kind of just,
Mm.
went wild. My aha moment was I saw family. I grew up, my biological
Mm.
brother and sister, half brother and half sister by my mom, did not live with me. The woman who I actually say
Mm-hmm.
who passed away, who I said it was my brother-in-law, is actually my
Mm-hmm.
grandparents' daughter. So it's actually my aunt. It's my biological mom's sister. But I was raised with her.
Okay.
So she's a sister to me. I call them mom and dad,
Mm-hmm.
and it's my sister. I ain't gonna try and confuse everybody. But I've always wanted a family. They were old school, they were more traditional. So I saw that. But I go out to the world and the tradition is not the same. I graduated in mid-90s. So it was the life was changing me, and they were not, nothing was the same. So I always wanted a family, and I went about it wrong. I kept trying. I kept doing wrong. I still had something that was valid enough that women were still interested and found value in me, but I wasn't doing it right. When I failed the last time, again, I had to start over. Each time I'm starting over. I've always been a person that's kind of led and done well, and I'm starting over again. And I'm looking at myself and I'm like, why am I doing this again? I was like, why am I starting over again? What is the point? And at that point, I'll tell you, I didn't think I was ever getting married again. I would tell people, friends would be like, I'm never getting married again. I could be with someone, maybe down the road, but it's nothing that I would ever even, look for. And I didn't. I went out there and I enjoyed life, but I enjoyed life, and I enjoyed life being broken. I was still picking up the pieces of like my emotions that I had failed. I realized this. And so guess what I said earlier? You attract what you are. So guess what I kept doing? Attracting other broken people. It doesn't mean that it was like chaos, but I'm attracting people that maybe don't have nothing going on. They got issues, they got things, it's chaos going on in their life. Nothing that's going to go anywhere. And it wasn't anything that I was trying to lead anywhere, which then was leading still to problems in life. You spend money, you got, people, around. Yeah, I mean, for a man, I'm spending money, I got people around, I got, you get lack of sleep. At the time I was out, eating and drinking and doing different things and stuff that gaining weight, nothing that I'm doing from a positive standpoint. So it was really that, Kenya. I looked at that and I looked at my life and I was like, you gotta do different. This isn't how life is supposed to be. My business, I saw business wasn't as that changed from 2017 going, and I said, you know what? Nah, this is not, I gotta focus. And I just started focusing right back in on all the things that truly matter. It was the kids, it was growth, and it was my spirituality.
Relationships are a distraction if they are not productive, if they are not fruitful. Listen again, I have a 21-year-old daughter. That's the best thing I tell. Good or bad. Look, it doesn't.
Yes.
Relationships are a distraction, good or bad, but they have to be fruitful, productive in order for it to be worth it. Okay.
Correct. But so let me add to that. See, most people think that successful relationships are all about love. And I think that's a mistake. Love is an outcome. Love is an outcome from a solid relationship. It's an outcome from it. A relationship is responsibility, it's duty, and it's obligation to another, for their benefit.
It's dropping. Are y'all? Hold on. Let me check in on my people because are y'all? Look, don't make me. We gonna say y'all got y'all notebook. Hold on, because look, I don't know on the page. Y'all got y'all notebook for y'all tips because Unc is dropping the Unks keepsakes. Okay, I'm even up in here. Type chat again. If you are new, hashtag tips. All right, I'm over here looking at my comments if y'all see me over here. But if you are not new and you my OG, hashtag tips, y'all. But guess what? If you doing hashtag tips today, that means next time it's gonna be hashtag tips because we here. But one more time, Unc said it's responsibility. I'm sorry, I hope you didn't forget what you said because I did. You said it's responsibility. What else, Unc?
Duty, I said it's responsibility, duty, and it's obligation, towards another person for their benefit, not yours. That's a relationship,
Mm, mm, to their benefit. Hold on, because I gotta say, not yours.
not
Go right
yours.
there, yours. Uh.
So,
That was
so just think about if you give it all, you giving everything for them for their benefit, and their mindset is to do the same for you. How can you lose?
uh, let me tell you something. My philosophy, my mission, my whatever we gonna call it, my statement, what I live by right now is be you. If you are doing,
Yep.
hold on, let me get comfortable. If you are doing what you got to do in your relationship, that's all you got to worry about. Because at the end of the day, however it ends, good, bad, indifferent, you did your part. You were you. You gave everything. So do not I am big in my life, in work, corporate, public. I don't care. Do not match others people's energy. Mm-mm. Come with your
Right.
own energy. Now, especially in relationships. If you, and this is why I always say this, be you, because you can only be y'all. I do not like that whole wifey, don't do the wifey material things and all that. No, be you, because trust me, it's some wives out there that ain't doing whatever you categorizing as a wifey duty or wifey material. It is some great girlfriends out here that is doing some things that is wife material, but don't want to be wives because y'all don't know how to be husband. I can go on all day and night, but that wasn't my
Oh
point.
yeah.
My point is that if you like to cook, cook. That is not a wife or a husband duty. That is a hobby that you. I tell people all the time, and if y'all know me, y'all know. I say, look, I'm gonna cook for a man. Okay, I'm not trying to win his heart. I'm trying to beat Bobby Flay. All right, so I'm trying to see how
Ooh.
long. I'm not sitting up here trying to impress him. I mean, it's cool if he like my food, but I say that to say I'm not doing it like, oh my gosh, wifey duties. Let me cook for this man. No, no, no. Be you. If you want to cook, be you. If you want to buy that woman flowers, do that. If you and just because it did not work in the with the last woman, don't not do it again because you need to be your authentic self. Unless you're allergic to flowers. All right, unless you're allergic, that's something different. But you feel what I'm saying, Unc?
Yeah. No, I mean, I just made a video the other day about transparency, and that's it.
Okay.
I think you should always be that way. Relationships thrive with transparency. A relationship won't if a person doesn't understand where another person is coming from or what they really mean. Be clear about it. If your intentions with your relationship is to grow, and the way that you understand how to do that is to provide whatever it is that you provide, cooking, cleaning, man might be whatever it is. And I'm not. There's no
Mm-hmm.
that's for people in their relationship to define. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, don't not do that. You
Right
know.
now, I'm glad you brought that video up, Unc, because I saw that video and I wanted to challenge that video, Unc, because that's what you
Okay.
girls do. You girls do.
Please,
All right.
please.
Now, not challenging you. All right. I
Oh no, I
challenge
got you.
transparency. So again, if you follow your girl, everybody know I have a problem with these overused words, these oversaturated words and things. And not you, because you get it. You get it.
Mm,
But transparency is thrown out there. But the thing about transparency, Unc, is you gotta know yourself to be transparent.
yes.
And the issue right now is that don't know. I ain't saying nobody. Remember what I say? It's this percentage over here, y'all. And it's this percentage over here, y'all. But majority of the people don't know themselves. So when they feel they're being transparent, uh, they're creating their fairy tale. Yeah, they think they being transparent off of what they think they want, right? And so that's why I felt your video, but I wanted to challenge that with the people,
No,
not
no,
you. I wanted
no,
to
no, no.
challenge. people because yeah, I need people to know themselves before they are trying to be transparent because it doesn't come out the way. Because
Yeah.
what happens is, and I gotta get close. What happens is when you show your real self, you look like a fraud. Go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I will tell you this. See,
Okay.
if somebody those relationships don't work.
Hmm.
That's a person not being transparent. A person that's not healed, that doesn't know who they are, you're gonna end up in you're gonna it's not gonna last. I mean, it might last 3 years, 2 years, but you know, six, whatever it is, it doesn't last long term. It doesn't last to the end. And this is the part that I'm trying to, and I'm really, because I don't see it with the generations coming up nowadays. They're avoiding like lifelong relationships. I know the word marriage and the way that it is, you know, and it's labeled, it is taboo right now. It is, so I get it. But the concept of marriage, the basis behind it, not the American legal way of it, but marriage unity with another. You can't mentally be broken and not really understand, you know, otherwise it's not gonna last. The way things are set up nowadays, you're gonna find something that you're gonna deem is better than what you have. You're gonna find something that says, "Oh, this is the reason why I'm not supposed to be in this." It's always gonna be something because you're not clear about what's real. So yeah, that just to add on to that, being with transparency, I'll look at it. If a person is healed, even if a person isn't, if they're being transparent and it sounds they're giving you BS, some bullshit about things that they think that they want. I mean, a person that's healed still can read through it. See, a person, if somebody was saying with me and they was giving me some transparent stuff and it was like some facade and some things that just ain't real fairy tale, I could easily be able to decipher through that and say, yep. And without even really saying that, be like, all right, well, that's not the one that would be for me. And I wouldn't spend my time on that. See, other people get caught up in that because they're believing in that, or there's something that they're not right themselves to hear information from someone else. To get transparency for me is someone understands their intentions and they will clearly put it out there. They will let you know that these are my intentions. This is what I want. This is where I want to go. These are my thoughts behind it. I'm not here to do anything wrong, but I'm gonna be transparent that you hurt my feelings. I'm gonna be transparent. I understood you were doing that, but I didn't really like that. Now you can do what you want with that, but that's I'm just being clear. I don't need to cause a problem, but I need for you to understand what's going on. And just like my man who wrote in the keepsake letter, think about it. She was transparent. She was transparent and told you that you were right. She told you was right. Man, thank her, appreciate her for that, and make her always feel comfortable about doing that. So that's not a one-time event. You put her in a spot where she can be transparent, feel good about it. She won't feel like nothing's going against her. So that's me and my definition of transparency, or how I view it should go.
And it was going so good, I didn't even get that whole definition.
Transparency is it's just being upfront with your intentions, no matter what the situation is. Be upfront with your intentions. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable about letting them know what your intentions with that person is, and it's with the person that you're with, right? We don't have to be transparent about everything. We're gonna keep some things, and we're not gonna do it all the way from the beginning, every single thing. But you should be always upfront about what you want in life when you're going into relationships, what your purpose is, how you're doing it, you know, and find out what that person wants, and be upfront if it's not the same. If you're not on the same page, talk about it. You know, we're misaligned in these areas. Talk about it.
Yes. So many people are afraid. It's so many people skip the discussion and get to the what they want. They get to the demands, right? So
Right.
Demands, and it's like, hold on, let's talk about it. It's like, well, I want this. You align, and it's just like, hold on, wait. Them demands, like, because we ain't even. Can we talk? Can we talk first? Oh, people be jumping. Oh, look. Oh my, so many gyms, so many keepsakes, so many things has happened. And usually I go into my segment called, I have so many things to say with you. This can go on forever. Instagram gonna cut out. But anyway, I usually do a segment called. Look, I didn't get into none of my segments tonight, y'all, but that's
My
okay.
bad.
No, and I do what I do. But will get into, because you touched on this more and more, is that I have a segment called I love to dissect lyrics. Anybody that know me know I'm a music head. I will sing, I will dance. Me and music, I'm a quote a song, all right? But
Okay.
I'll be listening Unc, and now that I'm 41, and I'll be listening, then I have to look back at the year, was like, what was I doing to that song right there? Like, why was
Oh, don't get me started. That's exact. I'm gonna be upfront, Kenny. That's exactly how I relate. When I hear a
Oh,
song,
man.
it goes right back to, oh, this is what I was doing, and that's how I know the year. Oh man, it blows people away. If it's a song that hits me, oh man, that let's chill. So let's chill, guy. I'm gonna age myself. Man, I remember eighth grade dances. I was in the eighth grade. I used to go. Man, when I was in middle school, the first middle school I went to, our dance was in the daytime because it was hood. Boy, my mom took me out of that damn school district and put me in another school. In the eighth grade, the dance was at night. I couldn't believe it. Hey, I remember Let's Chill by Guy being on. That's me. The school dances
Yeah.
back there.
Because wait,
Yeah,
you
I'm
how?
with So
Okay,
I'm 47.
I mean, you
I'll be
47.
47.
Okay, so okay, even though, but my parents, oh my God, I'm still listening to Switch, the OJs. I'm still
Oh,
listening,
yeah.
but they dated me how music is my life. My whole high school sweetheart relationship, a whole Maya album. I'm talking
Oh, you
about
was my.
roll to the last one, the whole Maya album. It was the whole different stages of our entire relationship, boy.
Oh,
Until
man.
the last song, if you died, I wouldn't cry because you never loved me anyway. Maya took me there.
Wow. Oh, man.
But I'm with you. So that's how I know dates. And then even pulling up to high school, I remember what cassette I used to play every day. That Donnell Jones album, Where I Want to Be.
Ooh. Stop playing. Stop playing. See, I was here. All right, so I was out of school then. I was working and I was a grown man then. But woo, Donnell Jones is still my dude. Oh yeah, no, his music was good. 90s R&B, all of that, early 2000s, all of that. That's all. That's all me.
Don't give me the aux cord. Don't give me the aux cord.
Don't give me the
right?
aux cord.
Aux cord because it's all 90s. But I'm switching up. It's gonna be 90s. Sometimes I get into my trap mode, but it's still that old trap. Like it's the new music. I just can't get jiggy with it. I'm not saying all of it. I'm not saying
I know what you mean. No, we the same. We the same. We from the we the same. We the same on that.
Right. But so what I love to do is this, we're gonna dissect this on that I had up. So usually I put the lyrics on the screen, but I ain't had time to get it together. But this song right here, this group right here.
Okay.
Okay.
What you got going? What you got?
I want to hit you with how you feel about Jagged Edge?
I like Jagged Edge.
You
Let's get married. Yeah, I remember all that.
I don't know if you know this song though, because if you
all right, let's see.
You got it's called What's It Like to Be in Love? Have you heard that song?
Well, I don't know. Right.
And I can't play it because they be the copyright.
I know, I got you. So you're gonna read these words.
No.
Oh, you gonna sing it? Oh, you can sing?
No. But
okay. All right.
All right.
I'm gonna be the background for you.
The chorus go, what's it like to be in love? That's all I'm really thinking of. And I was just wondering, will love ever know me? Cause my heart is open and I'm still hoping to find what it is everybody keeps on talking about. Now, basically what he talking about, what made me think of it, because the lyrics go, my life has changed, but still so much has stayed the same. Got a bank account, but I'm still broken down. Wait, where he go? No. Then he go, hold on, no, because I'm not gonna sing the whole song. But basically, he was like, I know love is something that you can't go out and buy. When you was looking, it always seems like it's the wrong time. But I hope one day I'll give away this heart of mine, girl. I think I'm ready. I wanna be in love. It's about men that they got everything. They got the cars, the other woman and all that. But he like, is something missing? What's it like to be in love? Because you mentioned that a lot. Like you was doing here. You on your fourth marriage, which is cool to me. Look, let me tell you, other celebrity news. All right, everybody was on LaToya Luckett. My girl, I love LaToya Luckett. I think this her third marriage or so, or within the span. They were on the span of time, third marriage. Look, find love whenever you find it. Get married, unmarried, marry again until you feel like you got it. All right. Who's to say that her first marriage was wrong? It was probably right at that time. And now where she at, it's right too. Speak on it, speak on it.
So, I mean, I would tell you this. I mean, if I knew what I was supposed to do and how I was supposed to go about my life back then, my first marriage would have worked. I don't think you get married, because you have intentions to not be with the person. You have the right intentions, but you may not know how to go about doing it.
Come on, you might.
And I didn't, and I'm just being upfront. I didn't know how to go about doing it. And nobody taught me. I had to literally go through brokenness, broken relationships, different types of people that had, some being the same. I've had a lot, similar experiences. Not everybody was the same. But I mean, I had to deal with that. I had to go through that to learn, to adjust. I had to deal with situationships. I had to deal with just dating and being out there to really understand. But that's the wrong way to do it. Like, that's not the way to do it. I don't give a damn what anybody say. Men and women about there, I'm going to tell y'all. When you go out there, I'm not saying don't get it right. I'm not saying to not use discernment and take your time and do things. The more people that you put yourself out there with, the harder and harder it is for you to find someone or you to feel like it's real or fulfilling. We actually break ourselves. We end up touching so many different people. And I don't mean just physically. I just mean you connect. You try and put your energy into them. You get their trauma. You start thinking that is everybody. You can't, you ruin yourself. The more you experience, you will ruin yourself. Not all things are meant to learn through experience. If I could have been taught that to do it right from the beginning and had less, I would have preferred to have done that. No ifs, ands, or buts. Some people think from a man, like I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm not. But I would, for sure, if I had the ability to do some things, I for sure wouldn't have been with as many women as I've been with. I wouldn't have had, as much intimacy. I wouldn't have done those things. Those things, they just mentally, it's not physically, it's just mentally. It's hard then to connect. So when I realized that it ain't about none of that, I'm looking, don't look for somebody that my eyes are just, attracted to. Yes, that's important, but nah, where is my life going? Who is going to be in my life to make sure that we win based on the plan that we set together? I know I got my role to go ahead and make sure that we get there, but I need you as well to handle some things. Let's talk about what that is and let's get there. So it took to go through being broken and failing Kenya over and over again in order to get that. Again, I did not think I was going to get married again, Kenya, but it wasn't about. I love my wife. I love my wife dearly. I've never had a person that has been more valuable to me in my life. My wife. That's being real.
Those are the things that we need to hear. Again, like you said, we hear that that's why I'm single now. That's why I'm not getting married. It's because you are interacting and entertaining someone too long that is not going to enhance your life. I have two more things to say real quick because we come on it.
Oh, good, no problem.
One of my I hold monthly mixers. Y'all, tomorrow, if you're in the LA area, Battle of the Perspectives. Okay, y'all know we in there. Get y'all tickets. But it's when men and women come together and we talk about love, life, career, everything in between. And at one of them, because I say some people always be like, oh, marriage is a business. Marriage is a business. So that question was out there. And one of my guys, we went to elementary, middle school together. He said, look, it is a business, but also that doesn't mean that I married my wife for the business. He said, as I'm dating my wife, after dating, the many women, I looked at my wife and I said, she can handle the business. She knows how to operate. Like, so when I say I marry and it is a business, it's because we come together and I saw in her that she could take my life here other than the other women that I was dealing with. So that's what
Absolutely.
people, they think of the mindset of marriage being a business. Okay, that doesn't mean that the love is not there. That doesn't mean that we just do this. No, no, no. That means that you know that it's going to add value and that it's going to take you places in the business kind. You know what I'm saying? But with that, I'm going to go ahead and say too my story just a little bit because y'all know that y'all know me, my story. I was engaged and unengaged, but for that reason, because I knew that he was not gonna take me where I needed to be. I knew that we were not gonna be able to get there together. I was putting the footwork in for my future, our daughter' future, and his future too. I couldn't do all of that. And so I'm with you when people say you need to be okay with knowing yourself, having that self awareness and keeping them, because I only got two regrets in life. I'm not big on regrets, but I only got two. And if you know me, you know one of them is that I didn't go to a HBCU, and then the second one is that I missed that bad boy reunion tour. My goodness, them now
Oh,
I'm
oh
never
yeah,
gonna.
because that's
It's a wrap. It, it ain't back.
it ain't
Okay.
coming back, man.
But I'm gonna go ahead because we up on. This was such a pleasure, and we are definitely gonna
Oh,
have to do
same,
this
same, same.
again. I mean, full
Please.
time, because y'all know what? It's multiple topics and things that we need to unpack, discuss, and let it on out there. So let the people know. Give us your final sips and tips, because I'm gonna put all of them in the chat, y'all. And I'm
You gonna put
gonna
them
go.
all in there? What, man? Final tip. I mean, it's never gonna be easy to accomplish something doing it the same way that you've been doing if you haven't been able to accomplish it yet.
Mm,
So if you continue to do things exactly the same way, most likely you continue to get the same results. There are
mm,
things out there that you can do different in different perspectives in life that you can do that can help your situations, even if you don't fully believe in certain things or certain aspects. It's always good to try small little steps to do things different, incorporated in your life so your life can be different. But only you can decide if your life is worth it. I mean, no one
mm,
else can do that. And if you are happy and content with your life, no one else is going to come and save it for you. You are responsible for it. If you want fulfillment in your life, it is time for you to take all the necessary steps and actions. Don't let your vulnerabilities, don't let your fear
mm,
overpower the fact that you have an option and you have a choice to do things different so your life can be the way that you want it to be. And that's honestly what the
mm,
platform, is set up to do. It sounds like that's what your platform is set up to do.
mm.
I think a lot of people that I end up working with and talking to, a lot of them you didn't come from a broken family environment. A lot of people that I end up talking to, they do. Then
Yeah.
somehow, some way they come from it. And I think it's because I come from it and things I say, they just relate to and resonate with. But
Mhm.
overall, we're all a community. We're all one big network and we all need each other. Just for y'all, your listeners and the people watching, I didn't know Kenya a week ago. I didn't know her.
Mm-mm.
I mean, we
Mm.
found each other online and I realized I typically don't even look at the people who end up, connect with. Not everybody. There's a lot of people that end up coming through. And I happened to look at yours and I was like, wait, she's a relationship coach. Random.
Mhm.
No, that wasn't random. It wasn't coincidence because I don't believe in them. It was meant to happen. I saw it. I reached out and guess what you did? Boom.
Yeah.
We're connected. That's what life is about. This is what,
Yeah.
and I look at everybody as family. So family, y'all out there, this is what life is about. We need to connect. The reason why her and I connect and we actually flowing right now is because we both have
Mhm.
done things. I'm sure you have done some work for yourself to, be healed. I've done stuff for mine. attract, like I
Yeah.
said before, you attract what you are. The reason why her and I are coordinating right now is because we're on the same wavelength. 10 years
Yeah.
ago, if Kendra was on this wavelength, she'd look at me and said, "Nah, Unc's bullshit. We're gonna call him nephew, and let him go."
Yeah.
But at this point in time, yeah, we're gonna call him nephew. But right now we on the same page. So if there's anything, it's that. If it's okay, can I drop my platforms as well for people to come
That was
check?
my next
Yeah.
question. I was gonna be
Oh
like,
man.
because that's what I was saying. We found each other. And let me tell you something. When y'all find Unc, it will not be a mistake. All right. It will not be just somebody that you scrolling down. Because when I found Unc, and he said it, look, people reach out all the time. Y'all know y'all be in y'all girl DM. All right. I see all these other shows and these other podcasts, but it got to be alignment. And look, before Unc get into where we going to find him, it's all on the same thing. Alignment, y'all, in any aspect of y'all life. Y'all know your girl is big on relationships, but I talk all relationships. Alignment in collaborating. Y'all, alignment,
Yes.
it's the same. Because just like, somebody that you are close to or intimate with can taint your reputation, can taint what you got going on. It can happen also in collaborations in business. So what I love that you mentioned too, and I'm gonna let you drop your handles, is the word
No, you're good.
discernment. It's that I have been using forever. It's one of my favorite words, and I got it from the church. All right, because I pray for
Thank you.
discernment every day. All right. And so that's from when I was a young one. Discernment has been my favorite word, and I teach it to my daughter. But it is about discernment in everything that you guys do. So y'all look out. Me and Unc was here. This is our first time no, this not our first time. Look, our first initial. I'm talking in the salon. I'm getting it in, and Unc is there, and we are just really chopping it up. He ain't care about
Yeah.
nothing. Nothing going on, y'all. But it's that alignment.
Yeah,
Where,
yeah. Nah, we were conducting business.
because I found you, and I know when the people find you, they gonna love that they found you too. Tell them.
I appreciate it. Family, you guys can find me on Instagram at unk_podcast, UNC_podcast. YouTube is where I really try. My ultimate goal is long form content, just to give you guys some messages. And then there's going to be more of this, live and sit down talks with people about what they go through. And that's YouTube at unk_podcast. And then TikTok is the other one right now that, primarily putting stuff out on underscore.
Underscore. Where's the
After the C, yeah. And then on TikTok, it's the THE unk_podcast. TikTok going to be difficult not giving me my name. They cold blooded for that one.
right?
Yeah, come on, TikTok.
TikTok. I think I
There
still
it
got
is.
that. That's
That's it. That's find me there. You gonna find me. You can always, if anybody, I do relationship, coaching as well. If anyone ever, anyone,
yeah.
or life relationship and life coaching. It's not just relationship. If you're looking, hey, you just need a positive step in your life. Please go ahead and shoot. You can send a message on one of the platforms, or you can email info@unk.co, and I'll definitely make sure that you get squared away. Kenya, I appreciate you. I mean, seriously, I appreciate you, and I definitely look forward to working with you. Like, I really think that you've got a great flair. You've got I think we've got good chemistry, and I really like your message to people. And I think we can do some good things, and I think we can bring some people together. And ultimately, Kenya, imagine what if we brought two people together for business and they partner, and we brought two people together and they made a relationship. Do you realize that's impact? And some people don't understand that helping one person is impact, because when you impact one person, I promise you, they'll impact another. And that's the goal. That's the network part.
And that's the energy that we want to match, y'all. Not the defensive energy, not the negative energy. That is the energy that we want to match. I appreciate it so much. We can do this for hours and hours and hours, but we not gonna do that, y'all. All right. I'm gonna go ahead. Y'all follow look. his videos, like I said, even before this, I seen the videos. He got some good stuff going on, and I'm only one person. Y'all know I'm only one little person. I can't reach the masses, and y'all know I'm not a man. Yeah, that's why I get my men's perspectives over here. And let me tell you one thing before we sign out, which is again, my guys are the realest. All right. So, quick little story. One guy reached out to me. This was about a year ago, but I remember him. Maybe 2 years ago, but I remember him. He said, "Hey, do you know a guy relationship coach?" And at first I was like, yeah. But you don't like my stuff? Like my stuff pretty cool. Like holla at your girl, you know? He was like, no, I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking for a guy because I don't want to be distracted. He was like, he was like, you're beautiful, you're this. He was like, and not I'm not hitting on you or anything like that. He was like very respectful, but he was like, with any woman, I don't want a woman therapist or a woman relationship coach because I know how I am as a man and it could be a distraction. And I just want to focus on what I need to focus on, especially since my issue is women. You know what? Let me go ahead and refer you to somebody real quick because I
Yep.
appreciate, you feel me? That is the
Yes.
transparency that Unc was talking about earlier. That is
Yes.
that fairness that I was talking about earlier. So you see, when you get Unc and Keepsake, and you put them in, that's what Unc was talking about, y'all.
Oh yeah, and that I'm actually glad you said that. I need to get. I definitely want to get your info because my site is being built, and
Mm-hmm.
and Unc is the. I mean, it's a network. I've got people already built into the network. I don't do everything. I'm not trying to be
Mm-hmm.
a master of all. No,
Right.
if it's me, I'll handle it. I'm not in this, and I want people to understand. Please, I'm not in this to make money. I've done okay in
Mm-hmm.
life. Things have been cool. It's not about that. I'm trying for
Mm-mm.
people to be different. What's coming up in the world, I see my kids growing up, and I don't know how they're going to have a relationship. So I'm worried about that. You got a 21-year-old daughter, right? It's not easy. It's not easy. Black women
Mm-mm.
get married. It's a fact. They get married 1 out of 4. So
Mm-hmm.
how then am I going to make sure that my black daughter make sure
Mm-hmm.
that she has someone in her life? That's gonna,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she don't have to if she don't want to, but I know she does because everybody yearns for
Yeah.
that. So I'm here. The network isn't just even for relationships. We got people that do art. We got people that do
Mm-hmm.
everything. It's a community. So if people need things, we'll make sure that they get referred out to. Just wanted to point that out. Thank you, Kenyon.
Perfect.
Seriously, thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you, thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, Unc. The people got
Sounds
it. It's
good.
gonna be in my description, and we're gonna do this again later. All right.
Oh, please, please look forward to it.
All right. See you later.
You have a good one.